Hey there, Todd Polke here from toddpolke.com and from Thrive Property. Welcome to video number 3 of what the wealthy do differently. Make sure you go back and review video number 1 and video number 2 and all the ones I'm going to be recording after this. They're absolutely essential because I've really made it my study about understanding what the wealthy and successful people do different in life than what the average person do and why they get those different type of results. So this next one is something I'm really big on, and it is all about creating empowering routines in your life. Now, needless to say, I'm very big on time management, on productivity. I spent a lot of time studying it, and frankly, because I had to, because I'm quite chaotic in naturally the way I am. And I always want to understand, well, what makes a difference in people's lives? What do they do differently? And something I found very consistent is that the wealthy and successful in any area of life. Now, when I say successful, I'm not just talking about work or career. I'm talking about any area of life, whether it be in health, whether it be in relationships, whether it be financially. The wealthy and successful do things differently. They set up empowering routines that put them in a peak state and move them towards creating a very specific outcome in their life. Now, I've created a lot of these in my life, and it's something I'm very big on. You know, health has always been a big part of my life and a big part of my background. I was a former personal trainer. And, you know, today, every time I start my day, one of the first things I go and do is that I go to the gym, right? But it's not the only thing I do. You know, a routine is really a set of specific habits, a specific set of actions, which you stack them up together, which then puts you in the absolute maximum peak state that you need to be operating in on a daily basis. So when I work out my morning routine, I go, well, what are the things that I need to do in the morning that I know set me up to actually be in my absolute peak state in life? Now, one of those things, as I mentioned, is exercising. So I make sure I train every single morning. One of those things is making sure I have a consistent time that I get up in the morning. One of those things is doing meditation. One of those things is about eating. One of those things is about planning. So my day really revolves around. So I'm in the 5 a.m. club. I like getting up at 5:30 in the morning. From 5:30 to 7:30 in the morning, I go into writing mode because that's when I find I'm in my most creative state. So I get a couple hours work done in the morning first and foremost. After that, I then go and train. Right? After that, I come back, I meditate, I eat a healthy breakfast, and then I go out planning the rest of my day. That's my morning routine. And I know that works really well for me. It puts me in absolute peak state. I'm working with my energy flows, meaning that I've gotten some really valuable creative work done in the morning, and writing the different books and things that I write. I've gone and trained, maximized my health, eating well, meditating to calm my mind and put me in the best balanced mental state that I possibly can be for the day. And that's a very strong health and personal life routine I've created for myself in the morning. But there are routines in every area of life. There are routines in relationships. Unfortunately, a lot of people's routines in relationships is effectively, well, you know, they come home from work, for example, they put their stuff down and they grumble and groan, oh, I've had such a bad day and such a big day, and a quick peck on the cheek, and then they sit themselves in front of the TV and they watch television. Now, what type of routine, what type of outcome is that routine going to create in life, in a relationship? It's not going to be one of pure passion and romance and connection and spark. It's not going to be that at all. It's going to be creating this very kind of grey, mundane relationship. And unfortunately, a lot of relationships now is that a lot of relationships wind up turning into two friends just living in the same house together. And there's no passion, there's no romance, there's no intimacy, that deep level of connection a lot of people are missing. They just settle for this very kind of average relationship, far less than what they'd prefer. And that's why we've got to have these routines in place. Because imagine if you crafted a routine that was specifically designed to create passion or connection or romance or playfulness. The thing is, when you start creating a routine, you've always got to start with the end in mind. What is the outcome in this area of my life that I want to create? Now, maybe in a relationship, it is about playfulness. Well, what is a routine that you need to create? You know, playfulness, connection, and passion, mate. Maybe that's what you want to create. So what is a routine that you need to create that if you do that on a consistent basis is going to bring more and more of those emotions and that feeling into your life? You know, maybe it's time that as soon as you get home from work that you go and get changed, so you change your whole state, take off the work clothes, put on the clothes you need to actually feel in the state that you need to be for your partner, for example, and then you actually sit down and actually talk, or maybe you start playing some board games, or maybe you go for a walk outside. You know, maybe you make sure you have your date nights. Whatever it is for you, there's so many different ways to craft this. So when you're crafting a routine, you always want to start, well, what is the outcome that you actually want to create to start with? And what do I need to do to put myself in the state and that peak level of being so that I can actually go and be in the level, live in that empowered state of what I want that routine to absolutely create. Sorry, I mixed my words around there, but I hope you guys get what I'm talking about. It might be at work. What do you do at work on a daily basis to make sure that you're being the most productive you possibly can? So you're actually executing on your highest value, highest priority activities. What you'll find when you talk to any wealthy or successful people in any area of your life, that there are a certain set of habits and proactive activities that they tend to do, certain routines which they find put them in their peak level of state, and a lot of them will specifically design it. So you might want to go back in your life right now and start asking, well, think of one area and start with one area. Don't try and redesign your life all in one foul swoop, right? It gets too overwhelming for people. Start with one area and ask the question, okay, well, what in this one area of your life, what is the one outcome that I want, the level of feeling or the outcome that I want to create? And what are some empowering routines or some empowering activities that I can put together and stack up together, which will actually create or do what I think is going to create that type of outcome? You know, it might not work perfectly first time around. Sure, sometimes we've got to try things a few different times to get it absolutely right. I've been fine-tuning my morning routine for years. I used to get up and go train first thing in the morning. It's the first thing I did. But I actually found that I was sacrificing some of my most creative time to go and train at the gym, where I really didn't need a lot of brain space, right? I just lift some stuff and train and things like that. So I shifted my routine around. It's completely changed my entire day to be far more productive and creating far better outcomes. So guys, what the wealthy do differently is that they create empowering routines for each and every area of your life. I'd love to know what some of your empowering routines. Feel free to put in the comments, right? I would love to know that, because the more we share out and different people have different things, you know, it might be one element that you can introduce which might completely change the outcomes you're creating. So guys, thanks so much for listening in. If you like it, like the video, share it out, press the love heart button if it's on the Facebook or whatever it is, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.